This is the Content Marketing Podcast, episode number 202, 5 Things Content Marketers Can Be Thankful For. Hello and welcome to the Content Marketing Podcast. This is the show where we help you grow your tribe and your bottom line through insanely good content. I'm your host, Rachel Parker of Resonance Content Marketing, and today is November 24th, 2016. Hello, or as we say in Texas, howdy, and thank you for joining us for today's episode of the Content Marketing Podcast. Just a reminder, this podcast is available on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and now Google Play Music, so if you like what you hear, please feel free to click on over and subscribe. I am also happy to report that my new book, The Content Marketing Coach, Everything You Need to Get in the Game and Win, is now available on Amazon in book and Kindle format. And here is what one Jay Baer had to say about the book. He said, "Practical, accurate content marketing advice from a real pro, plus a football theme? I love this book." If you want to learn more and to download a free chapter, go to resonancecontent.com/book. And just above the Order Now button is a link that says Download Free Chapter. So click there to get yours. Also, we are winding up the month of November, which means we're coming to the end of our Snapchat challenge. If you happen to miss that, I challenged myself to go on Snapchat every day for the month of November and to take some action, either post something or look at someone else's posts or connect with somebody, just to kind of get my feet wet on Snapchat, because it is becoming a force to be reckoned with on the content scene. So we would all do well to just to get to know it a little bit better. So if you would like to know more about Snapchat, you're welcome to join me for the 6 days we have left in the month of November. Okay, in last week's episode, we shared some key insights from the Content Marketing Institute's 2017 B2C content marketing study. Now, if you remember, we talked about the B2B report several weeks ago, and last week we covered the B2C study. So if you happen to miss that episode, feel free to check it out on iTunes or Stitcher or via the RSS feed. This week we celebrate Thanksgiving here in the States, so today I'm sharing 5 things that we content marketers can be thankful for. But first, it's time for check-in for back it up. But first, it's time to check in with our news feed for this week's rundown of news you can use. Facebook is dealing with a bit of a snafu. They recently admitted to miscalculating the 7-day or 28-day organic reach in its page insights. Now, Facebook assures us that paid reach was not affected and points to, quote, bugs in their calculations and not a flaw in Facebook's methodology for the discrepancy. So if you've noticed something wonky in your page insights, then the source of the discrepancy could be Facebook itself. Facebook has announced it will fix the bug and has also rolled out several updates to its metrics and reporting standards so that it can, quote, give its partners more clarity and confidence around the insights it provides, unquote. Some news out of Periscope. Man, Periscope has been hitting our news feed just about every week. They are clearly kind of clamoring to keep up with Facebook Live and other competitors. So Periscope is now making Periscope.tv moments more shareable. So if you remember, Periscope TV is the actual website that you would go to on your browser as opposed to the app that you use on your mobile device. So users of Periscope.tv can now share specific moments from broadcasts with their social media connections. Adweek tells us about a new share broadcast menu on the Periscope.tv screen that prompts viewers to share a link to the broadcast on Twitter and Facebook with a custom start time which matches the time that they clicked on the share button. So let's say if folks are sharing a conference presentation and there's a really, really great point at the 5-minute, 30-second mark, they can go ahead and share that share a link that will start at that specific point in the recording, which is great for this app, because longer videos, sometimes you don't want people to have to sit through the entire 30-minute presentation to get that one nugget that you wanted to share. So this will let people share a link to a specific point in the broadcast, which is great for example, if you're broadcasting conference presentations. Okay, our content hit of the week is The Guide to Content Marketing Competitive Intelligence. This is by Aaron Agius. Aaron, I hope I'm saying that right. Agius, over at Search Engine Journal. Now, as we get ready to wrap up 2016 and roll into 2017, we are thinking about strategy. Now, hopefully we've got our strategies wrapped up for next year, or we're putting the finishing touches on those strategies. But an important part of that strategic planning process is knowing your competition. Now, I notice people make two mistakes when it comes to keeping an eye on their competitors. Number one is not going deep enough. So they might look at the competitor website, maybe look at the last few blog posts, and then call it done. Or they look at their competitors when they first create their strategies, when they first launch into content marketing, but they don't, it's like a once and done thing. They don't keep up with it. So we have to remember that our competitors are always evolving, just as we are always evolving. And we need to make sure that we keep tabs on what they're doing so that we can stay competitive. Now, in this post, Aaron shares a 4-step process for conducting a thorough competitor evaluation. And he gives you a very good details instructions for going through that process. It is an excellent post, and I will provide the link to it in the blog post for this episode. Okay, that's it for this week's update. If you stumble across something you think might be of interest to your fellow content marketers, please tweet it to me at @RachelParker so that we can share. Now it's time for this week's Spotlight segment. 5 things content marketers can be thankful for. First of all, I want to apologize to my fellow English grammar sticklers. The title for this post, for this podcast episode, does end in a preposition, but 5 things for which content marketers can be thankful just didn't roll trippingly off the tongue. So yeah, I took a little license there. Sorry about that. So this podcast is broadcasting on Thanksgiving Day here in the States. And if you are not familiar with this holiday, it's the day of the year where we gather to give thanks for our many blessings. So we get together with friends and family and eat ourselves into a coma. Yay! But it's a very happy holiday, and I want to wish all my fellow Americans a very happy Thanksgiving, both here and around the world. And hey, if you're not American, you are welcome to join us in the feasting anyway. Grab a turkey leg and sit down with your friends and family and join in the celebration of gratitude. And I want to say, before I get into my list here, I want to say that I am thankful for you. If you are listening to this podcast, I am very thankful for your joining us today, whether you've been with us from the beginning, from episode 1, or if you just recently discovered this podcast. I am so grateful to have you as part of our community. So for this, the purposes of this episode, I want to take the opportunity to talk about 5 things that we content marketers can be grateful for. Or if you're a grammar stickler, 5 things for which we content marketers can be grateful and thankful. So the first item of thankfulness, I guess I would call it, would be the plethora of educational resources out there. I rebranded my company as Resonance Content Marketing back in 2012, and I heard about this thing, content marketing. It seemed like, the perfect slot for me to move into. And so I set out to make myself a better content marketer. And there were not a lot of resources out there, folks. I got to tell you, of course, Joe Polizzi and the wonderful people at Content Marketing Institute were there with their vast array of resources, which was tremendously helpful. And I found webinars here and there and blog posts here and there. And then, of course, you had your one-off people who blogged about blogging and people who created content about social media. But there wasn't a whole lot out there. And now we have so many resources out there, so many wonderful experts out there sharing their gems of wisdom to help us become better content marketers. And I enjoy those too. I got to keep my razor sharp, or my axe sharp, as one would say. I need to keep learning about this constantly evolving field. And it's so great to be able to go to Google or to go to BuzzSumo and look up a particular topic and locate some solid, good quality advice to help me learn more about what I do. And those resources are out there. Sometimes people contact me and say, Rachel, I'm new to content marketing. What's the best thing for me to do to get up to speed? I say, well, of course, the first thing I say is buy and read my book. But the second thing I say is just go out there and go attend webinars and read blog posts and read ebooks and download resources. I mean, my goodness, there is so much out there to help us become better content marketers. So the first thing on my list of things we can be grateful for is the plethora of educational resources that are available to us. And most of it's free. So gotta love that. The second item that we can be thankful for is better data and better analytics. We have more and better quality data available to us now than we ever have in the past, whether we're talking about the Google Analytics that we look at for our websites and our blogs, Facebook Insights, although they had a little glitch the last couple of weeks that shows us just tremendous insights with a lowercase I into what we're doing and the kind of results we're getting. We can have access to better analytics on Twitter, on LinkedIn, whatever platform you happen to be using. Our email, we have wonderful email analytics available to us. And this is it's so great to have those available to us, again, for free as just part of the platform so that we can see how we're doing. You remember my piece of Ed Koch advice. He was the iconic mayor of New York who would stand on street corners and ask people, how am I doing? How am I doing? How am I doing? Well, we need to know how we're doing. And those analytics that are available to us make our job much easier when it comes to looking at how our content is performing, what is doing well, what could use improvement, and what might be not the best choice for us. So we can all be thankful for the wide array of data and analytics that are available to us, and instantly. We don't have to request a report and wait 2 or 3 days for it. It's there when and where we need it. Awesome stuff. The third thing on my list of things we can be thankful for is the cloud. How awesome is the cloud? It's just so there. I don't even have words. It's just so wonderful. Just for example, from a collaborative standpoint, if your team is working on a piece of content, you don't have to be emailing those files back and forth and trying to figure out which one is the most current and which one, well, you made your changes, but you made that to the old version. How about the new version? And thanks to the cloud, thanks to assets like Microsoft Word Online and Google Documents, we can have those documents in one place where we can all work on them. And someone is ringing my doorbell. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. We were talking about the cloud and the many advantages that it offers. Also, I gotta say things like Wi-Fi. We've got Wi-Fi in so many places. Like my gym now has Wi-Fi, so I can listen to my podcasts on my, without having to use my data to download and things like that. The cloud is just, it's really transformed the way we experience content, and we don't have to, download these huge files to our devices and to our computers. We can just access them when they're available. So yeah, the cloud from a collaborative standpoint, from a content consumption standpoint, is definitely one of those things that we content marketers can be grateful for. The fourth thing that we can be grateful for on my list is mobile technology. Oh my gosh, I was looking at my iPhone this morning and realizing, this is a computer. This is more powerful than those computers back in the 60s that took up entire rooms. And, if I'm waiting for an appointment or stuck in a traffic jam, I've got a computer in my purse that lets me, I can use it to do research. I can work on writing content. I can shoot a video, which we're going to talk about in a minute. I can shoot photos. I can record an audio. And we're just carrying around this amazing technology with us. And it's really quite incredible. And then from our audience's standpoint, we don't have to wait until someone gets back to a computer to view our blog posts or to watch our videos. They can access that content wherever they happen to be, whether they are, again, out and about, if they have their iPhones, or if they're in the backyard playing with the kids and have their tablets. They can consume that content absolutely anywhere and in just about any format. So let's all take a moment to be grateful for mobile technology. And connected to that is my fifth thing on my list that we content marketers can be grateful for, and that is video technology. Oh my gosh, it is so easy to create quality video these days, folks. I mean, when I first started doing videos for my company, I would be embarrassed to show you my setup. I mean, I had these lights all rigged up. I had my video camera. Yes, I had a dedicated video camera, still have it on a tripod. And, I'd have to connect it by a cable to my computer to upload it and then do my editing and then upload it again. And, it's just so easy to create quality videos today, and never mind all the apps we have available. Oh my goodness, I can remember the day, and yeah, I know I sound like an old lady. I remember back in the day, but I do. It's not that long ago that and I lost my train of thought here, that it was really, you had to be a real technical expert to be able to shoot and edit video. But now we have apps that make it so easy we can add filters, we can speed up, we can slow down. I mean, really advanced features that are in these very, very easy to use apps, many of which are available on our mobile devices. So we can shoot video on our phones, edit it right there, upload it to YouTube or Facebook or wherever, and be done with it. No computer necessary. In fact, one of my friends, actually my trainer, shoots some incredible videos and uploads them to YouTube and Facebook, and he does not own a computer. It's all through his mobile phone. So video technology, I gotta say, is just, and as we all know, video is so powerful. It's visual, it's audio, it's as the old telephone commercial used to say, the next best thing to being there. So we can all take a moment on this Thanksgiving Day to be thankful for video technology. So that's my list of 5 things that we content marketers can be thankful for. Educational resources, better data and analytics, the cloud, mobile technology, and video technology. And of course, there are many, many more things we can be thankful for. And if you would like to add to that list, I would love to hear from you. The best way to reach me is you can tweet me at @RachParker. Now it's time for our content marketing tip of the week. With Thanksgiving soon to be behind us, it is time to start thinking about our holiday content. And you're going to see a lot of posts out there, some from me included, about tips for creating holiday content. But what I want to say is this: really think about what this season is like for the people in your audience. And really think about, go back to your personas and really think about what this season is like for them, because it's different for different people. For example, if you serve a B2B audience, how busy are they at work? Depends, right? I mean, if they are in retail or hospitality or travel, this is an incredibly busy time for them, whereas other industries are really slow around this time of year. So think about that. And then on the B2C side, what is it like for them? Do they have young children? Are they likely to be traveling? How busy are they with their families? What are their, how do they deal with holiday presents? Are many of their families far away so that they need to ship those gifts? What is that holiday season like for the specific people in your audience? And taking the time to really think about that and then to start brainstorming ways to build some holiday content around that understanding is going to do tremendous things for your engagement as we motor into the holidays and towards the end of the year. Okay, campers, that's it for this Thanksgiving Day episode. I hope you have enjoyed our time together here on the Content Marketing Podcast. If you like what you've heard, please feel free to subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher or SoundCloud or Google Play Music or via our RSS feed. And if you really like what you've heard, please leave us a quick review on iTunes. I would be so thankful, and to keep in the theme of the day, I would be very grateful if you would do that for us. Also, remember my new book, The Content Marketing Coach, Everything You Need to Get in the Game and Win, is now available in book and Kindle format on Amazon. To learn more about the book and to snag your copy, go to resonancecontent.com/book. As you know, I always like to leave you with a quote, and today's comes from John F. Kennedy. He once said, quote, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." Unquote. Again, this is Rachel Parker with Resonance Content Marketing. Thank you again for listening, and we will see you again next week. Happy Thanksgiving and take care.